I had started a business called Rainbow Jellies, Rainbow Jelys, and selling LuLaRoe. And hadn't meant to start it, hadn't planned to start it, but it just kind of came to me, and someone, my sponsor, so probably like Mary Kay, you have a sponsor, was like, you'd be really good at this. And I'm like, well, that's insane. Like, I'm a GS14, I support 3 kids and a family, I have all the health benefits, blah, blah, blah. Then when all that came down and I ended up having to leave my career and the life that I had planned for, I was like, well, what do I enjoy? I enjoy people. I enjoy connecting with people. I enjoy making people happy, which I'm sure is, anybody who's doing what they're doing needs to enjoy it, right? And I was like, well, I'll work on my business some more while I look for a new job. Well, that's what I told my husband, because I didn't want to look for a new job. I wanted to make this work, but this was the time to make it work. So that's kind of my history of how I got into LuLaRoe. So I started with on Facebook with my friends and family. I have about 30 people in my group, and I'm going to talk to you all about the group and personal pages and all that kind of stuff. And then I grew to where I'm at today. So I'm in my 3rd year of selling LuLaRoe. I have over 1,000 pieces in my house, and I'm very busy, but I'm also home with my kids, and I get to do soccer and all the good stuff. So that's me. So, how do you guys, I'm not going to quiz you too much, not everybody has to answer, but how do you guys currently communicate with your customers? Like, I know you, Mary Kay, you come to people's houses, you talk to them, but what are some of the venues that you currently use for your customers?
Email, text.
Okay. Anything else?
Mostly text.
Mostly just text. Okay. And where do you usually meet them?
They usually order online.
Like where you make first contact. Like, like I met you at Viva Vienna, right?
So
stuff like that.
Stuff like that, or like,
That's my go-to.
or out in person.
Out and about, yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. Well, I do the same stuff, but I'm going to show you how Facebook can be one more tool in your skill set that's going to use all the things that you know and all the background that you have and just reach you a bigger audience. So last question, then I'll go back to talking. What are your opinions on social media? And is there anybody who's really never been on Facebook, and that's fine? And kind of like, where is your level of comfort? Just so I know how deep to go or not.
I'm pretty comfortable. I just want to know, like in Mary Kay, there's no system for social media, so they have posts for us and all this stuff. But what I've been noticing, there's actually 5 people that I've been watching on social media that are in direct sales. You're one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I was watching how they're generating interest in their products. So I don't think we have a set system for doing that in Mary Kay. So that's why I was like, let's just take Margret's.
Yeah, and we don't in LuLaRoe have a set system. However, our company recognizes the sheer importance.
Yeah.
And of course, LuLaRoe is very spread out and very popular on Facebook. So they do provide, different trainings and hookups with that. So, so you think it's useful? And anybody else, Facebook, do you use it personally or?
I use it personally. I have a business page. Really bad at keeping up with it. Like Facebook regularly sends me the notifications. Like,
okay, so it's just there. So you made it.
I had been doing Instagram for a while, and a few months ago, I don't remember the last time I opened Instagram.
Okay, cool. And anybody else want to share that? Not on Facebook?
I'm on Facebook.
They're all on Facebook.
Okay.
I
But
don't-
you're not using it for business purposes?
Not for
is that correct?
business.
Okay. Let me see that, and I'm going to address that.
I'm on Facebook too. I guess you could tell about my outfit.
Yes, yes.
For the little.
Are we crying that Anna's going away?
Yeah.
We're tired. I know. Okay. So we did talk about me, about the fact that about 70% of my sales, if you do the math, come from Facebook connections or perhaps Instagram, and I'm going to talk about how they're all connected. There is a Facebook family of tools, which is Facebook, Instagram, Messenger, as well as WhatsApp. WhatsApp is a kind of a free texting tool.
It's the best thing.
I don't use it, so you'll have to give a little bit of training on that. So I'm not going to go into WhatsApp because I don't know much about it, but I know a lot about all the other ones. what we all do right now is we all do social selling. So we do social selling in person, and this is just another tool that you're going to be able to use. So I want you to kind of think of it this way. Facebook, and I'll get into everything, but at the highest level, Facebook is where you kind of have ads on your business page, okay? It's kind of like where you're showing things, you're doing ads, right? And then Messenger is the equivalent of texting and conversations. You're having conversations, you're selling items, you're creating relationships. Not that you can't, in a Facebook post, but it's much broader. Your audience is different than obviously a one-on-one text or phone call or anything. And then Instagram is a slight difference as well. Instagram, and this kind of bleeds into Facebook, they're all connected, is Instagram is selling a lifestyle, not necessarily a product. So a post per se on Instagram saying, I have the newest skirt, come over to here, that's not gonna fly. Instagram is, look at me, I'm having fun, I'm home with my kids, I'm happy, which I am, but it's just showing your lifestyle, just being you. And all of these platforms, I'll keep repeating, is that you are the key. You are the key. It's very easy when you're in person to get across your personality and to create a relationship with somebody, and that's what we're all comfortable with because that's what we do. And however, Facebook is a little bit harder because you don't get that initial eye contact, the vibes, all that. So you have to, and there's a whole fancy algorithm whether or not they even see your post. So if you manage to actually get in front of them, you're going to have a short period of time to make a connection. So you have some barriers to work through of, working through the technology to get to the point where you have the relationship that you want to have that you have in person. So all that being said, and the barriers, what's the point, right? What's the audience? What's the potential? I'm doing well right now. I've got customers. I'm getting new customers. There are 2.7 billion people on Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp, and Messenger, of course. And 2.1 billion of those people get on at least once a week. And the majority also get on at least once a day. That is a huge audience. So whether or not it is your preferred method, if you're looking for a way to reach more people and get more customers, there happens to be more people than there are in the United States on Facebook. So it's a huge audience. In the past year, it's grown by 8%. There's like 500 profiles created every minute or some crazy number. I mean, obviously, everybody's on Facebook. I'm going to talk about Facebook and Instagram and the Facebook family. However, there's many social media tools, and I'm just going to rattle them off. But there's Twitch, there's Snapchat, there's what's that one where they have the live videos. So there's lots of tools out there, but we're looking for a return on investment. We're one person. Some of us may have teams, but I don't. I have me. I do everything from buying inventory to carrying it downstairs to doing all these things I'm telling you about to actually putting the tape on and printing out the label and shipping the item. So we want to talk about return on investment, and with such a big audience on Facebook, it's really something that you can't afford to ignore because your competitor is already there. And it is the way that we are communicating, the way that we're talking. Will it always be Facebook? No. Do you want to rely on only Facebook? Oh, no, you don't. Facebook is a tool, but it's not the only tool. And so as much as I'm going to promote social media and all those things right now, I am 100% with you that it's not the only tool you can use, and it's not the only way you're going to be successful. Because those in-person relationships and relationships you gain, personal relationships through social media, you need to have a way to continue them outside of Facebook, or Facebook's down for the day, or all that stuff, and that's where obviously in-person emails, texts, and all those things come through. So building email lists and all that great stuff. So question now is, it's a crowded space. There's lots of people, oh my gosh, everybody's selling makeup, everybody's selling clothes, how many people can I see? Show me another LuLaRoe thing, turn it off, please, I don't want it. How do you create something where someone's gonna wanna listen to you? You can't shout, nobody's gonna hear you. You can't post a billion things, you're just gonna annoy people. So it's really about providing value and quality, obviously, value, and then also being consistent and giving before you're taking. And it's also about being you. So throughout all this, I'm sure you guys know, especially since you're in person, you are the key. And you can't compete with the Amazons that ship and the cheap prices at CVS, and I can't compete with the 99 cent Walmart tank top and all those things. And it's not that you don't want to be aware of that competition, but don't let it ever slow you down or make you afraid not to make your own space, because the thing that you have is you, and Facebook is just another way that you can use to get more people to know you and then eventually your products. So in person and online, you're not selling a product, you're selling a service, you're providing something to somebody. And you're doing it strategically. That's the thing. You could go down a billion rabbit holes when you start talking about IT and social media and how many posts a day should I do and this and that. There are rules to the game, but they're changing. So where's that word? I was like, it's not quantity that keeps you okay. So there's rules to the game. There's things that Facebook does behind it. So we're talking about relationships and community. Facebook is built as a community. It's built to connect us with our friends and family and people with like interests. It is literally like a big party and everybody's there. So with that in mind, when you are on a platform such as Facebook, you need to start with the key concept of what does Facebook want? Facebook gets the majority of their money from ads. And people see ads when people are on Facebook. So Facebook wants to see things that are interesting and wants to promote things that people like. So your posts, when they are interesting, and we'll talk a little bit about that, but here's my key. Oh, over there. Okay, so your posts, Facebook, there's an algorithm that's kind of keeping track of things. It will begin to share. As you become popular and people start to like you, it then branches out to people with like interests, people that like you. Are you running a good party? Do you have an active group? Are your people engaging? If they're not engaging and they're not active, doesn't matter how many people you have in your silly Facebook group or how many followers, it makes no difference, because you need to be turning people from sitting on the sidelines to someone who's engaged and or somebody who is buying your product. And on Facebook, like I'm saying, you're trying to create a popular party, okay? So you're the hostess, and you're there to not overpower the situation, but guide the place. It's gonna be your tribe, just like you've collected customers. These are people that like you and like working with you. Like I said, there's similar products that are everywhere, so they could go anywhere and buy something different. But they're choosing to buy and to work with you and share their business with you because they like you, because they trust you. People like to buy things from people they trust, and don't we all? I mean, it's kind of like you have those, Angie's List. You're gonna go on there and you're gonna go, oh, well, everybody likes this person. Well, maybe I'll try them out, right? Or, hey, I got a friend and she's really nice and she said this restaurant's good, that all the way to the app. So, anyways, so where are we at here? So before I go on, I'm gonna start talking a little bit more about like tech stuff now, kind of like the post and what it should contain and what are some tips and stuff. Does anybody have any questions, or am I in the realm of coolness or anything I'm missing yet?
No, you all post, so you guys know posts and all this thing. But yeah, I do think that is Facebook. Show a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your personality, and that will attract people to you.
Sure, and the people that connect with you and vibe with you. Everybody's community or tribe is going to look different because we're all different. So there's different types of posts you can make in social media. You can educate people, you can entertain people, you can inspire them, and then there's what I don't know if you guys use this term, but an IPA, income producing activities. So when you're in a social media environment, you're gonna want a mix of those things. You're not gonna want too many IPAs. You're not gonna wanna just entertain, because you wanna, actually have them purchase something. But using a mix of those things. So what I do, one of the tips, I was my plan, which I'm not gonna show you, but every week at the bottom, I have little things for every day. Have I educated my customers? Have I produced something that's entertaining? And it doesn't have to, you don't have to plan it all in advance, but have I done these things? Have I inspired them? Have I connected with them? Do they know my why? Do they know why I'm here? Do they know who I am? Have I, done those things? So,
So let's list those again. Educated them, entertained them, connected with them,
inspire.
know your why,
Yeah.
inspire,
And income producing activities.
and income
Yeah.
producing. So that kind of gives you the category of what you're trying to post.
Right. And remember, it's in your own way. So copying and pasting a silly little thing that looks like it got 1,000 comments, like what's your favorite breakfast food? Oh my God, I'm gonna fall asleep. You know what I mean? Like, it might work for someone, and maybe it worked a little bit for you, but you need to do what you like and do things that are real and transparent. In any situation, in person or online, if you are not the person that you are, and if you're not enjoying what you're doing or your product or what you're talking about, if you aren't being real, then you aren't going to be able to connect with people. Our business is so wonderful because we connect with customers, all of us, but we also make friendships and we make friends. And so, a second ago, I think I didn't finish my thought on the fact that you have people that are engaged and people that purchase. In the Facebook world, both of those people are valuable. I'll have see people send like, look, this person comments all the time and they never buy anything. Well, then give
Helps
them
the
something
algorithm.
free. I mean, this person is engaged. This person is happy. This person is part of your community. And go back to your why. Are you here just to make money? Because that'll get you somewhat far. But when things get difficult, that's not going to pull you to the next level. What's going to pull you to the next level is, why am I here? Do I like what I do? Am I helping other people? Does it fill me up? So that fancy little algorithm behind there, if somebody's engaged and chatting and talking, I mean, I'll tell you a little example. I have these little paper unicorns that I put in my things when I ship them. Just unicorns, literal. But I literally was punching them out one by one to make this confetti. So, imagine, one by one. And so one day I'm like, you know what? These little things only cost me like $6 on Amazon for the puncher. What if I ask my girls, hey, you want a free unicorn puncher? Only thing I ask in return is every once in a while send me a bag of unicorns. I had an overwhelming response of people who wanted to punch me out silly little unicorns and had no idea that I was sitting there in between balancing a life with 3 kids and changing my career and all these things and punching stupid unicorns. So that was over a year ago. I have not punched one unicorn since, because people send me envelopes with unicorns when they have a spare time. Some people ended up buying their own. I mean, I kind of had to limit it. But for example, when I went to choose who I was going to give them to, I looked to the people that wanted to be part of the community and work with the community. And I specifically chose some of them because they didn't necessarily have the funds to buy LuLaRoe all the time, but they were engaged and they were part of our community and they wanted to help me and be a stronger part of our community. And so I sent them those, So Facebook is just another tool to do exactly what you're doing. And these are just stories to show you how you make these real connections between the real world and, online social media. So let's talk about the anatomy of a post. So we talked about the types of the post, right? Educate, inspire, entertain. You can go back to your grade school basics. Who, what, when, where, why. Who am I trying to communicate with? What's my audience? Is my audience a mom who needs a brightener because she's tired all the time from her eyes? Who is my audience? What I'm trying to do? What's the value to them? We talked about that before. You want to have a value. You want to provide something before you ask for something. So what value am I providing? Am I entertaining them? Am I educating them? Am I inspiring them? What am I giving them so that I am worthy of some of their attention? There's a lot of things out there competing, you know. You don't know what they're gonna see, what they're not gonna see. What do I have that's gonna make me special, that's gonna make them want to talk to me and look at me, which will then be, a wave or a ball that gets bigger, as more people see you, and then they have friends, and they have friends, and they connect this and that. So, and so when? Timing. All right. Timing matters. The most popular time in Facebook is midweek. Thursday and Friday, and late in the evenings, we're getting the most engagement. And why is that? Well, during the day, we have time to check our phones, right? We look here and there. But once our kids are asleep, or our husband's finally fed, or whatever's going on in our life, and we finally get that moment to sit down and just glance at our phone, that's the time that, maybe early in the day, Margret said something's coming up, so I briefly saw it, but now's the time where I'm, going to actually put more there because they're ready to engage, they have the time. Also, you want to know, are your people East Coast, West Coast, what are their hours? For better or worse, I grew up in Oregon until I was 13, and now I'm here in Virginia, and then I've been back and forth every single year. So I'm West Coast, East Coast. So I'm also a night owl, which works well. So I can post things at midnight my time, and although I know my East Coasters are going to be sleeping, I know my West Coast girls will be up with me, and then they'll also be, telling me to go to bed. So my tribe, just so you know, it's mostly some women that are younger than me, some that are my age, and I would say the majority of ones that are grandmas that have been through the things that I've been through, and they enjoy watching me do all the things that they don't have to do anymore, and supporting me and giving me awesome advice.
So Margret, go over the times again. So when do you aim to post? Or are you posting consistently through the day? Or do you pick those time slots? Or what do you do?
Well, we got to start at the beginning of who's your audience.
Okay.
And what, we didn't talk about, so we'll go about the where, location, I'll talk about this, and why. So what do you want, what's your outcome? So if I'm going to post, like I said, in the middle of the day, and my outcome, because I know they're not going to be as able to spend as much time or engaged, although in my case, I have a lot of people that are retired. A very, very popular time is between 1 and 3 p.m. on Facebook, honestly. So, and you can look online and look at all these times, and they shift. Payday is every other Friday. So if you're going to do a big IPA, behooves you to magically show up on a Friday when everybody just got paid. Oh, fancy that. But yeah, and then evening time, like I said. So it depends on what you're communicating and what you want out of that post. If you got something long that they want to read and you're going to need some time, you'll probably want to put it more in the evening time. Also, Facebook and its algorithm, remember, it's a party. So when you post, your post is happy and it's fresh. And if people start reading it and jumping on board at the beginning, it starts going, right? But if you're posting and it's dead and nobody responds, there's only a short time before Facebook's like, this is party pooper. Throw this one out. So it's about timing. That's also where different people hire, for example, I don't have any specific in my group. I just have an awesome group of friends and customers. I meet them in person now when I go places. I meet them in Philadelphia. I meet them in New York, because they're there. I met one girl who lives over here on the East Coast. She was in Oregon this summer. We met in Oregon, But some people do pay people to help with the engagement. You can tag people in posts. Tagging someone can get very annoying if you do it the wrong way, but can also be super fun if you do it the right way. Wrong way would be tagging somebody all the time. If you know your customers well enough, you know that Julie is going through some financial troubles right now. So she probably wouldn't appreciate you tagging her in this beautiful skirt that's $40 that she can't afford, right? That's her size. But you know what she would like? She really likes blue florals, and here's one that's not her size. So let me tag her, and let's both talk about how pretty this skirt is. So what is that doing? I'm not
engagement.
pressuring her to sell anything to her. We're just having a great conversation about LuLaRoe and how we both love it and how it's beautiful. Meanwhile, that's bumping up the activity of the post. It's putting it on the wall because they're commenting on the picture, and then more people are seeing it, and hopefully someone who is that size, who likes it, is going to comment on it. Other times I tag people because I know what they like. I know that you like this. I know you like this color. I know you were looking for a medium this. We have, eventually LuLaRoe is working to give us a tool where we can, right now I can see who purchases what styles and sizes, okay? But eventually we just got RFID tags. I don't know if you know what those are.
Yeah.
They can scan it. So basically eventually we have tags.
You'll know exactly where it
You'll
went.
know that this skirt started here, came to Margret, and then was purchased by, like Laura over here. And when I pull up my dashboard of all the new Bella skirts in size small, I can see all the people that purchased them. I can see what colors they purchased, so that when something similar comes up in their size or a similar style that I think they might like or color, I'll be able to tag them and show them something, because again, we don't know what Facebook's showing
So
them. or not.
basically you're saying build a relationship so you could just like,
Yeah, so right now I do it all in my head.
yeah.
Because I'm running.
So you're talking about tagging somebody. How many people will you tag at a time?
It depends on the post. So if I specifically want one person to see it, because I know they'll love it, I'm just gonna tag them. If I just want to chat with somebody who's one of my awesome engagers, then I'll tag them, or someone them, and I have you'll have girls that support each other's bad habits, like, hey, you might want this one, and then they stop showing me, and this kind of stuff. If I'm doing a birthday post once a month, for example, I have an album for every month. Well, when I do the birthday post, I'm sure as hell gonna tag all the people who have a September birthday, because I'm gonna want them to see, which I haven't done yet, but because I'm gonna want them to see it. So there's people in your group. I'm getting ahead of myself, so we'll get to groups. So finishing with the anatomy of posts, who, what, when, where, why. So basically, when you create a post, you want to put thought into it, because as I talked about earlier, it's not about quality, it's about quantity and value. So when you're putting yourself out there, you have, let's talk about you have the social equity, shall we say, okay? So I have.
How much influence do you have?
Yeah, and you also have a brand and what you stand for, you know what I mean? And you want to guard that. So you'll notice that if you're on Facebook with me, not that I don't like Pampered Chef or Scentsy or Mary Kay or any of those things, and I love supporting women, and I'll tell you how I try to do that, and you've worked with me on that. But I don't promote any of those parties. I don't host any of those parties, because I'm LuLaRoe. That's what I sell. I'm not trying to dilute my brand or my social equity or anything like that, because you only have so much. And if I start spreading myself too thin, for example, I used to sell Color Street, the nail stuff, just on the side, because I was like, oh, it's so fun. I love this stuff, right? But I found, and I knew this was going to happen, that I don't have time to do that, because I'm all in where I'm at, and I don't have the time to do that too. And so being all in, whether this is your side hustle or your main job, it's really about focusing on what it is. So, however, I obviously support, other women and other business owners. So one of the ways I do that in my group is I sometimes will have I call it the mystery machine. So it's pretty much for $30, you'll get way more Lula, of value, but it'll be a mystery print. But for me, I always say, tell me, of course, your sizes, but if I don't know. Styles you're interested in, things you haven't tried yet, what colors you're loving. Often I'll know what colors and stuff, but I'll just confirm. And then I'll say, and one of you, in addition, will also get something from Rena, from Mary Kay. And then in that post, I'll let her intro herself. Hey, I'm Rena, and I'm a jelly. That's what my customers call themselves, jellies, Rainbow Jellies. So Rena's a fellow jelly, and so it's about getting her a little visibility on her product. So it's sharing the spotlight in a way that promotes my business, but lets them know that, hey, if you're looking for someone that's a jelly, she's here, she sells Mary Kay, and hey, here's how to get a hold of her. So, and then,
Well, it's just like you'd introduce someone to the party,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I also and that's kind of off topic, I'll get back on topic, but I also do things where like I'll have guest hostesses, like I'm going on vacation, say I'm going on vacation, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to stay with my kids, and I want to stay on my phone all the time, because online is 24/7, if you're not careful, that's all you're doing, right? But I will put out a post and say, who wants to be the hostess for a couple days? Who wants to take over Rainbow Jellies for me? And I have a whole, and I can even share it, I have a whole instruction for them, like, hey, our party's better with friends and family, and I literally give them moderator rates to my group, and they take over, and the group becomes their vibe. Because once you create a Facebook group, and I'm going to talk, my next thing is about pages and groups and how they all kind of interrelate. But once you create a group, it's not yours anymore. It's a community, and you're a hostess, and you're part of it, and you're leading it. But it belongs to all of you. And so the more you can get your fellow, jellies or customers or tribe involved and knowing each other, the more you can step back and let them have fun and have conversations, and you're not always going to have to be the one to respond to every single comment, for goodness sakes. So I let somebody take over my group for a couple days. And I'm in the background. They can text me. I'll pop in every once in a while. I'll give them some stuff that they can give away or give them a couple ideas. But basically, I don't want to give them too many because I want them to do what they want to do. Like, I love music, but I have no idea of any of the songs or any artists. But I'll have people come and be like, hey, what's your favorite song? Like, I'm loving this one right now. And everybody will, post. And I'm like, oh, my God. Like, I would never post that because it's just not, I don't know the names of anything. But a lot of people do. So that's why it's fun. Because then your community gets closer. They get to know each other better. And I don't always make a lot of sales during that time. But it's not always about how many sales. You're building a foundation. You're building a community. It is a community. I enjoy these people, talking to them, being friends with them. That's why I'm here. So yes, it is about sales, but again, at the very beginning, we talked about it's social selling. It's selling online, and it's selling in a different way than just walking into a store and seeing a nice clerk. You're creating real friendships. I now have friends all over the United States that I never had. I have my best friends that live locally that I never would have met because of LuLaRoe. Some are still customers, some are not, and we're still friends. Even when sometimes people have to, I have a friend that had to leave the group for a while because of a personal situation. We're still friends on Facebook. We talk all the time. It's not like, you don't have to think of it like I'm creating some fake relationship. It's the same relationship that you're creating with a person in person. You're meeting people, you're providing them value, and you're having a good time being friends. And that's what I loved in my old job, was all the situations where I could connect with people and meet new people and learn new things. And having an active Facebook community allows you to do all those fun things. Like, I'm packing for a trip. Oh my gosh, guys, what should I take? And then they tell you, oh, I totally would have forgot that, thank you, or I never thought of that, or, you're learning from each other and you're having fun.
I always say I always know one. Do you need a plumber? I know a good plumber.
Well, yeah.
I have 3 good contractors because their wives are my consultants, or my customers. And that's
where we talk about it's not like it's social media and in person, and that's where I talked about in the beginning with the 70-30 or 90-10. It's the synergy between the two that really helps you grow so much. Why do I say 90-10? Because a lot of those people that come over to my house saw it online on Facebook, and that's how they saw it. Sure, I'll message them or text them, or they may be at my house and be like, hey, what do you have new that's in, or, but a lot of times they're in my group and they're active in my group and they saw it and they come over. Anyways, so now we'll do a little more technical about groups and pages and stuff. So we have your personal account, right?
So let's back up. How'd you get Rainbow Jellies?
Oh, I just made it up on the day, in 10 minutes. So, but there is some thought behind it. I'll not be as brief. So at the time, most LuLaRoe consultants were LuLaRoe Margret Sarro, LuLaRoe Andrea Brown, everything like that. And my thought process was, I don't get lost in the crowd. Who's Margret, right? Once you know me, you know who I am. But how am I going to differentiate myself in a big market, again, a big audience, between all the LuLaRoe XYs, first name, last name? How am I going to be a little bit different? A lot of times, online, in person, wherever, everybody's just kind of doing something and they think that's the rule. It's not always the rule, people, you know? So I looked at all the policy and I'm like, there's no reason why I can't have my group be called Rainbow Jellies or whatever name I wanted. So that's what I'm gonna do. So I just did think of the name in 10 minutes, but there's a lot of thought behind it. Why I chose to use that, why I chose to start out, because I wanted to create a community. That was the goal from the beginning of why I was there. It was not just, I mean, yes, obviously to stay home with my children and to make enough money to pay the bills and to change my life, but I wanted to create a community, and that's why I so much love and enjoy LuLaRoe is the community with my customers, with the retailers behind the scenes. I also run a group of about 550 consultants where we swap what we call unicorns, like really good pieces. Every day we have we sign up and then we have a little group chat and everybody gives 15 to 20 photos, and then we have this huge album of anywhere from 300 to 400, and then every day at noon all the way till midnight it's open, and then we tell people, hi, it's going to be there at noon, but timing matters because not only are you competing with the people in your group, but the other groups are showing it. However, and other people, they call it borrowed beauties and all that kind of stuff, but the advantage of this one is it's not like I'm picking up an outfit from a giant multi-page where thousands and thousands of consultants can grab that outfit and show it. This is a limited audience of people that I know, people that are in my group and have to follow my rules. 48-hour shipping, don't put any of your swag in there. Personally, it only annoys me if somebody puts their swag in there, because again, if I have to worry about somebody stealing my customer, then I got bigger problems. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. So, because that means that I didn't create a relationship. That means, to me, if you put a business card in there, it's a piece of paper. It's not Margaret, And that goes back to what you're selling too. You're selling a service, a commodity. It's not just a commodity. You're selling a personal styling experience, a connection, a relationship. And anyway, so yeah, if I've done all those things and that person leaves, well then we didn't vibe, and it wasn't, it just wasn't meant to be. It's kind of like relationships, right? Can't force them. I mean, it is a relationship.
Apparently you vibed.
Yes. Okay, so personal page. So we go back to Facebook being a party. Let's start at your personal page where everybody loves it. Your personal page is your personal page, people. Personal. People are not friends with you to hear about your product. They don't want to hear about it. And I know that there's different brands that promote different things. I've talked to people in road and fields and whatnot. But let me just tell you, your personal page is personal, okay? This is like your aunt and uncle and other people. And if you're posting about your new products and fancy this, you're in the wrong place, and they're going to start blocking you, or they're just going to disengage and they can make you silent, and you're going to see your engagement tank. I mean, you can also get in trouble with Facebook, at some point. So, do we have to pretend we don't sell LuLaRoe or Mary Kay? Hell no. That's what we do. That's us. Again, it's personal. LuLaRoe is personal to me. It doesn't start with, it's not LuLaRoe and Margret and her life, like it used to be with my old career, Coast Guard and Margret. It's together. It's back and forth. So so while I don't share basic stuff, like advertising stuff, I bet you most people know I sell LuLaRoe. So if they want to find me and buy something, they know how to find me. If I'm gonna post something, but there are certain times where I feel it's appropriate. And I'm pretty limited on my personal. If you're on my personal account, you'll see I'm pretty limited on what I share. But I only wear LuLaRoe, so I will always be wearing LuLaRoe in my pictures.
Always have your face on.
Yeah, I mean that's that's what I do. I mean, I sell LuLaRoe, so the likelihood of me wearing a lot of stuff that's not LuLaRoe is going to be low. Because what if I'm wearing this cute jean jacket? Well, that's obviously LuLaRoe. And someone's like, "Where'd you get that jacket?" I'm like, "Oh, Target." I mean, come on. It's like I sell LuLaRoe. So
I have a jacket too.
Isn't it cute? Yes.
I've been buying LuLaRoe in this office.
Yes, it is. So you have your personal page. So I'm not saying separate your business from your personal life. What I'm saying is keep it personal. I like to do charity events or like fundraising for animal rescue. So animals are really important to me. I love animals. And so I work with different organizations, and LuLaRoe actually matches 1-for-1 the money that we donate, no limit, which is awesome. So, for example, I've done the dog at Dogfish. Heart, Homeless Animals Rescue Team, has been there for the last just 2 years now. But I go, and so that's one thing where I'm like, hey, I'm going to be at Dogfish for the day in Fairfax, Greenbrier. Hey friends, I'm here supporting animals, which most of you also love. Come say hi. I mean, that's a case where it's overlapping, right? Of course, my friend who lives a couple miles away, I'd love her to come by and say hi. You know what I mean? So there's definitely times where they intersect and they cross, but just remember, and now we're going to move on to the business page, remember where you are. So go back to who, what, when, or why. Who am I trying to reach? What am I trying to do with this post? On my personal page, I'm going to have different priorities than I'm going to have in my Facebook group, and on my business page, and on Instagram. So, but they're all connected. All these things, like we talked about, has an algorithm. We'll talk about this now just because we're talking about all the different things. There's an algorithm behind there that's saying what a great party hostess you are. How interesting are your posts? Do people like them? Are they watching? The conversations you have on Messenger, Facebook Messenger, and I assume WhatsApp as well, feed into that algorithm. So while text messages are great, because again, like I said, you don't want to necessarily rely on just Facebook, but if I'm having a long conversation with a customer, whether it be about how her dog ate the credit cards, totally true, and I know her. Otherwise, you could, if you don't know your customer and your customer tells you, I'll pay you later because my dog ate my credit cards. I mean, hello? The dog ate my homework? But I know her. And we were just sharing pictures of our crazy dogs like the day before. Her dog really did eat her credit cards. So instead of me being bitter or upset that someone's trying to lie to me, I choose to trust. And also, I know her because we have a relationship that I bet her dog ate those darn credit cards. And guess what? She paid her giant order, and I shipped out her box as soon as she got her credit cards. So again, relationships are important. You know when somebody has grandchildren, you know when their birthday, and all these kind of things. And they're things that you do in person and online. So personal page. And that's also how you start to learn about your customers. Let's point that out too. So you have customers, right? But you want to be friends with them on Facebook too. Because the activity that you have with them, be it on your personal page, in the group, on the business page, in Messenger, it's all feeding into the magical little algorithm pot of fanciness behind the scenes. So, and of course you like these people, so why wouldn't you want to be friends with them? I mean, sure they're my customer and they're my group, but I also like them. I want to hear what they're up to. I want to see like they just moved or they're got a new dog. I want to know because I like them. They're my friends. Like we have relationships. So, now this is where it comes to being appropriate. Am I going to friend somebody as soon as they join my group? Or if I've never had a conversation? No way. I mean, I'm not going to ask them to be friends until I'm friends with them. That's my opinion. And sometimes they'll ask me to be friends. Is it great that they're friends with you? Oh yeah, because then they're going to see your personal page stuff. You're going to see their personal, like I talked about. But I'm not just going to ask somebody to be friends with me just because I want my business to get better. Like, yes, it benefits my business, but I'm going to ask them to be friends because I want to be friends with them. And I want them to be part of my world, and I want to be able to talk to them. So everything's connected. So let's move on to your business page. All right, so there'll be sometimes questions, should I have a business page, or should I have a group, or should I have a group, or a business page? We talked about what we do or do not post for the most part on our personal page. Well, should I have both? It's not a question you should be having. Both have a different purpose, and they both have a different audience, back to the who, what, when, where, why. So let's start with the business page. So Facebook provides us the opportunity to have a business page. It's your face, it's your public face. It's where you can reach the most people because it's public. So if I am doing a live and I'm showing our newest skirt and I'm doing like an IPA, like a selling live for example, it's gonna be on my public page. And I'm gonna share it into my group, and I'll talk about the group because your group needs to be connected to your business page. We'll talk about that in a second. I'm gonna share it into my group. In order to get audience, there are, and I don't know how Mary Kay works, but in LuLaRoe, we have lots of like multi-groups where it's built for different retailers to come together to share lives. So I'm going to share it to, this In Search Of site, this unicorn site. I'm not going to go crazy because we don't want to get in Facebook jail. Facebook is a community and it values real interactions. A real person who wants to connect with people is not going to share a live into 50 different sites, okay? And Facebook's gonna flag you, and Facebook's gonna put you in jail, and they're not gonna tell you exactly why you're in jail, but they'll tell you when you get out, and then if you do anything during that time, you might get in for a little bit longer. So remember, it is a community and they value things that are real. So yeah, share, but I try not, 8, 10, like I pick, I priority places. This is where your customers come in, and your friends. So if you have friends and customers, they can share for you. You can ask them to share. You can either reward them for sharing or just ask them for sharing. In your posts and in your actions, you need to be telling your customers what you want, especially in your IPAs. This is when you talk about what do you want the outcome to be. Do I want them to click on my website? Do I want them to watch my live? Do I want them to share? All those things. So you gotta think about it in advance, like what do I want? Like what am I trying to do with this thing? So business page. So on my business page, for example, LuLaRoe Rainbow Jellies, I have LuLaRoe comes out with a new skirt or a new dress or style, and they put together all these cool little videos. I'll share it there so that people can see, like the official, this is what's coming. When I'm getting a new style, I'll definitely post it there. Telling about the style, here's the information, and we're gonna get it in Rainbow Jellies. Wanna see it first? Come on over. Like, you're giving information and you're communicating. And when a person likes your business page, they are now following. They'll begin to see the posts from your business page.
Now, how do you get likes on your business page? What are you doing for that?
Different ways. People just like it because they like you, obviously. You can also, going back to what do you want, right? You can also ask people to like your page if they like you. You gotta tell people what you need sometimes, because a lot of people don't really know how Facebook works. They're like, I'm not seeing your posts. Like, I wanna see your posts, I'm not seeing your posts. So it's like, well, if we're friends on Facebook and then you like my page here and then this thing, you can give me a couple things. So I'll do a thing where I'll say if, I've done it a couple of times where I'm like, hey, if you had a really good experience with me, would you do me a favor and write a review on my business page, and I'll give you free shipping on your next order, or $10 or whatever. Or hey, did you want to see more stuff? Go ahead and like my page, that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's asking for what you want, but but giving. Again, I'm gonna give something. I'm gonna give you a thank you. I'm gonna give you some money to spend on a future order. So I'm asking, but I'm also giving. So telling people what you need is another thing. There will be in LuLaRoe loops where people are like, everybody like everybody's page. Yeah, but that goes back to quality and quantity. So yes, it may get you a lot of likes on your page, but the Facebook algorithm isn't dumb. It sees that a lot of consultants are liking your page. So it'll probably start showing them to consultants because they all like your page. Okay, sometimes I joke that we could probably run LuLaRoe on our own by buying from each other. But, and we do. In fact, when I get an order, I usually don't keep anything that I have. I bought this from a consultant because I prefer to sell something beautiful and then go buy it again for myself. Have I lost any money? No, but my customer is happy and I've supported one of my friend's businesses. And this is like a beautiful skirt. Like, I would want to provide this to my customer, but I went and I bought it from a friend. So that's how I got it. It's also nice because then they know that they're going to get first picks. I'm not going to pick the best things. And something I didn't have in my notes, but I will mention because it's involved with all this. When you're in social media, you need to switch your brain from a consumer to a seller, okay? Because how many hours can we waste scrolling through Facebook? And we only have so much time, right? And our role, think of it as it's not a toy. It's a tool for you. It is an amazing business tool that you can use to reach people, to increase relationships, to have fun, to increase your sales, to actually, make friends for real. So, but do remember what your purpose is when you're there. So just be careful because, like I said, there's lots of rabbit holes. You can go down this one or that one, all that kind of stuff. We won't talk about good vibes, bad vibes, but surround yourself with good people. But again, remember and think of it that way. You're using it as a tool and you're not necessarily a consumer. So sometimes I turn off my brain and I'm just gonna randomly do stuff. But I'm also, it's hard to turn it off because it is me and it is not me. And sometimes I'll tell my best friends, feel free to tell little Margaret to shut up. Like, let's just go have coffee. I will lock the door to my Lula room. I won't even let you in if you ask. Because I really just do want to hang out. Okay, business page. So we talked about that. And then you have your Facebook groups. A group is now your core community. These are people that not only like you, but they want to hang out with you. Okay? So now this is your community and like-minded people. So I have my group as not as private. So you can see all the posts on my business page, but you have to be in my group to see the stuff in your group. And this is your group now. So you want to treat them differently than you would somebody in a public forum, because these and obviously these are people that you talk to all the time and spend time with.
So why private over secret?
Secret, they can't find the link if they search for it, and you sure as hell want them to find the link if they search for it. You want them to join your group.
Okay.
If you make it secret, the only way they can find your group is if you give them that link.
Or they're invited by somebody else.
Yes. So, and now with Facebook, you can't add somebody to a group. You can invite somebody to join a group, and Facebook will remind them a couple times, hey, you have an invite. But luckily, because used to be, which I'm sure you guys remember, you'd always be like group mapped. All of a sudden, you're in like 50 groups. And you're like, what in the world? Like, why am I in this group? So Facebook changed that about maybe a year ago or so. So you can invite people that you're friends with to groups. I can't invite anybody to my group that I'm not friends with. You can't send an invitation to somebody that you're not friends with. You can give them the link, but you can't send an actual invite. But the people that are in your group can invite their friends and family and anybody else. So again, asking for what you want. You know, there will be posts to be like, hey, I have like a referral program, for example. So hey, you know, if you know any of your friends or family that might like to be a jelly, invite them, you know, to come. Make sure to talk to them. Tell them why you're inviting them, because your chances of success are going to go up exponentially when you have a relationship, and when same with them. So if they send a random link to somebody, it's like a drop in the bucket. Like, who's Rainbow Jellies and why am I going to join? But if you're talking to Aunt Susie, and you know Aunt Susie loves jean jackets, and Margaret's really nice, and I think you'd like her, and yeah, well, then why wouldn't they go check it out? And then at that point, it's up to me to make the impression, and then it's up to them to decide if we vibe or if we don't, if it's something they want to stay or not. So your group. So your group is your spot. So if I'm going to do a live where I'm just doing something, I'm just saying hi, or I'm checking in, or I'm explaining something that's going to go on later, or hey, we're trying something new, now we're going to do a virtual round robin, or whatever, something that's new. I'm going to do that in a group. Like, that's the fun place. That's where I talk to them. Like, they're like, oh my God, here I am. I haven't taken a shower in 2 days, but hey guys, I want to say hi, you know. I mean, that's my group. That's not what I'm going to put on my business page. I mean, that's like my public front. They're going to see my personality there, but I'm not going to treat them the same as I would somebody in my group, because that's my community and they're your VIPs. That's where you're going to show them stuff first. You're going to tell them about the new releases first, you know, detailed stuff. You're going to start telling them more personal stuff. And also, when we go back to like personal and transparency, and we talked about you're selling you, not a product. Your community and your group is really where you can be you and you can share yourself. And I'm not saying you have to share 100% or there's any sort of how much do I share or not share. It's up to you and what's comfortable for you. But it is a place where you want to be you. So you don't need to be rainbows and sunshine every day. Sometimes you have a bad day. Now, I'm not going to tell them every detail about every bad day, but if all of a sudden I'm super depressed and I can't go live, and the thought of it's giving me anxiety, I'm just going to say, hey guys, I'm like way too tired tonight. I just can't go live, sorry. And then everybody will chime in. Oh, girl, go get some sleep. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because it's your community, it's
That's
okay.
engagement.
Yeah, it's okay. We'll be here when you get back. All those types of things. So being you and being a real person is essential. And just like you know one person, and it's essential. So with your Facebook group is your community where you can kind of shed a little bit of the outer layer, and you know, these are the little row leggings that I slept in last night. And hey, I wore them to the bus stop too, which was awesome. I was ready to go. So let's see. So I guess the point of talking about the personal page and the business page and your Facebook group, And I did mention when you create your group, you're going to want to create it under your business page. So it's not like you're just creating a group. You create your business page and then a group. When you create your group, you want there to be a demand for your group, if you don't have one yet, and you also want there to be content there. So if you're having people over to a party and they show up and nobody's there, there's no food, there's nothing to do, how long are they going to stay? They're going to leave. There's no party going on. So when you initially create your group, if you don't have one already, you're going to want to keep it secret at the very beginning. You're going to want to fill it up with, like I have an album with all the sizing charts. I have an album with like beautiful women in LuLaRoe. Like I have a whole thing about like who I am and why I'm here and pictures of me and my journey, because I want them to know me just like I want to know them. So creating, and of course you're not going to have the engagement yet because it's a new group, but at least creating something for them to comment on and to see and giving some value again. So when they get there, they're excited to be there and there's something to talk about. So starting with your business page and then moving on to a group. Let's see. So again, it's not about which tool you use per se. It's back to what are you trying to do. And like I talked about in the beginning, there's tons of different like social media tools that you can use. But the reason why I'm so heavily into Facebook and Instagram is, well, that's where everybody is. So I get the best reach and the best return on my investment. Let's see, we talked about Messenger talks count. So if you're gonna have conversations with people, have them on Messenger. There is a place for text. Hey, I'm going live. Hey, something new is gonna happen in the group. A way to connect with them and get them back into your group. But your conversations and all that, you wanna have that in Messenger. Lives on your business page again, that's public. Lives do boost your visibility. You get interaction depending on where it's shared and where people share it. Again, if it's on the public page, they can actually share it. Otherwise, they can just share a link, and then if they're not in a group, they don't see anything. You can have a good visibility after your live because your algorithm's kind of happy. So if you've got something to post, it's a good time to post it. So that's why you'll see sometimes people like in Facebook, LuLaRoe, they'll do a live, and right after the live, they'll take pictures like, oh my gosh, I can't believe somebody didn't buy this or this. And they'll take really quick pictures because Facebook likes faces. You can remember that one easily. And your algorithm is up and everything's happy. So it's an easy time to take some quick pictures with your face in the item and say, hey, I just showed this in the live, but it's still available. Because again, the likelihood of Facebook showing you is a little more higher after a live, and of course there's a face, so there's a method behind all this madness. Let's see, we talked about being friends with your customer, but when you're ready to be friends with them. Also, when I find new customers, whether in person, and then they contact me or they stop by, my goal is to eventually get them into the group so I can kind of keep track of them and talk to them more. Also their email, I do emails and all that too, but because I want to have more ways to communicate, and of course email's a different format. I mean, I like to write a lot, so when I write a big thing, I'm gonna put an email, because on Facebook it's not as digestible. Margret just wrote a giant story. Like that's more of an email and when I have time and that kind of stuff. So again, where am I posting and what do I want out of it? So let's see. So yeah, so engagement. We were just talking about that. People share it, they talk, they're liking it, all those things. And we talked about timing when you're doing an event. When to do the event. Again, circling around things that make sense in your community and with the people that you're trying to reach. Are you trying to reach stay-at-home moms? Are you trying to reach moms that are working? Are you trying to reach them all? It's just knowing your audience. We talked about that. We talked about building it before you come. Also, here we go to consistency with your communication. Facebook is alive and breathing. There are many people there. And if you go dark, you're not selling anymore, are you? You're not there. The party's going on without you. So there's definitely a balance. You're not going to want to be posting all the time and annoying people, but you need to be consistent and you need to continue to communicate with people. You have your stories. I'm going to go into stories too, but you need to be posting at least every day something, again, educating, entertaining, and again, it's not always a product. So LuLaRoe is just like you guys. We've got these things we can post on social media, like the sizing charts, the beautiful videos, all those things. But remember, every other person in LuLaRoe and Mary Kay has access to those things. So while they are super helpful to tell more about the product and what it is, remember that when you are sharing that, you are sharing it. So you need to give again. So here's what I like about the skirt. Here's a picture of me wearing the skirt, and here's the sizing chart. And here's some pictures of other girls in all different sizes wearing the skirt. So again, it's not about picking up here from something else and just dropping and letting it go. You need to have thought behind everything you're doing and really linking it up with who you are.
Okay, so do you schedule posts in your groups?
Yes, I do. It depends on what the posts are. I like to do, and it depends on what I want to do that day. Also,
So that's one of the big benefits of having a group.
Yeah.
Is that you can schedule your posts.
and your business page as well.
And your business, yeah, and that's one thing I really like, because then you can just go ahead and like schedule it all Sunday and say every day at noon I'm gonna post.
Yes. So, yes on the scheduling.
Now, do you have to post at noon, or do you have something laying in a queue that says?
Yes. So the way scheduling posts go is you literally start a post in your group, you type whatever it is, and then there's a little clocky thing at the bottom, and then you schedule it for whatever time you want, and whatever day. So some people, like I'm admin in some groups, so I see like some people have like an engagement kind of fun little meme or something or inspiration, because they do it regularly. They got them stacked up for weeks. So every day at 8 o'clock, that's gonna pop up because we're all busy living our lives and we can't always be online 24/7, but Facebook is awake 24/7. So you don't want all your posts to be scheduled, but if there's something that you need to write that takes a lot of work, you're gonna wanna work on it before and then have it just kind of go. However, now in some cases you will just gonna have to have it scheduled because you're at a doctor's appointment and you can't respond. However, if you have something scheduled, it does behoove you to be there when it drops so you can talk to them and engage with them and keep the party active. But you won't always be able to do that. So for example, like if I'm gonna do a bunch of outfits one day, I'll tell them today is gonna be the day. I'm gonna show, we just got a whole new collection, we call them capsules for breast cancer awareness. So like I made a whole bunch of outfits with the breast cancer awareness pieces. And so then I'll be like, hey, we're gonna see those today. So then I'll schedule out the posts. Or I do outfit battles with a girlfriend. I'll be like, it's gonna start at 8 o'clock. So I schedule out all the 10, so we do like 2 outfits so they don't know like who did what and they get to vote. And that gets up a lot of engagement because the value I'm providing is fun, right? You gotta look at something pretty. And all I'm asking from them is to tell me this or that. So I'm not asking a big thing. So it's not like I'm asking you, do you wanna buy this? Like I'm not pressuring you. We're just having fun. But the more we have fun together, the more people see things, and then hopefully somebody who does want to buy it sees it. If they don't want to buy it and I don't sell anything from it, I'm still happy because we all have fun.
Okay, so tell me, you do a lot of lives.
Not as many as I should and as many as I will. But yes, go ahead.
Okay, so what is your like game plan behind the lives? Like what do you, because I just see you show piece after piece and sometimes you have numbers on them. And so.
Yes. Let's go back to a post is a post. A post can be a written post. It can also be a live. It's a post. So who, what, when, where, why. Educating, entertaining.
You all know lives, right?
No.
So you can go live on Facebook. You can go on your personal page, your business page, and also your...
It's like posting a video, but it's live, so they know that it's not like it's happening right now.
Is it
Yeah.
always a video if it's live?
No. So you can pre-record a video on your phone, and then you can post that and schedule that in advance. So maybe you were doing a training video, and you were gonna show them how to apply eyeliner. So you do a video in advance, and you mess up 20 times, and then the best one at the end, you schedule it, and maybe that goes in a folder of training videos, because you want that to stay up there, and you want something that, it's timeless. Someone's always gonna wanna be like that, so they can search for it, like, oh, wait, here's some good advice on like eyeliner, or whatever. But then, you have the lives. And then you go back to what's your life gonna be? Is it gonna be entertaining? Am I just gonna be there to like chill? maybe. I may be there to educate. Maybe I might do a whole thing and I want to engage with them. And so I have a new piece right now, it's called the Mimi. I love it. It's like a shawl. We can wear it like 500 different ways, because it's a shawl, right? You want to style and do it is, make sure it is a scarf, all these things. But my customers need to know how to do all those things. So I want to do a live, and some of my customers who have asked me, I want to make sure I do it when they can see it, because although anybody is timeless, anybody can watch it to see how to style a Mimi, but I want my customers that want it to know and be able to attend so they can ask me questions like, wait, stop, what are you doing there? I like what that looks like, but I didn't catch that, you know. And it's more fun too. Instead of talking to a camera, I'm talking to people. Like my husband would be like, I don't get it, dude. Like, how can you sit in that room by yourself and talk for 2 hours by yourself? Well, I'm not by myself. I'm talking to people. You know what I mean? And so there's different lives. And there's also selling lives, where you see a lot of people in the world, they do selling lives as well. And so with those, you know, you got the pieces, I'm showing the piece, I'm talking about the piece, and then I'm holding up a number, and then whatever your claim word is, and you say, sold piece number 135. And then either they're already in my customer database and I invoice them directly, or I can send them to my website and I'll create a little thing that they can click on and check out from there and check themselves out. The benefit of that is that they have to check out. Invoices can be left, correct? But if you really want it, you put it in your shopping cart and pay for it. So, depending on how new the customer is. So if it's a new customer, then more likely than not, I'll send them to the website. If it's a person I know, I trust them. I'm like, okay, cool, we'll send you the invoice. But it's all about communication. And as long as somebody's talking to me, I have no problem holding stuff for a while.
Okay, now how'd you get people in your group?
Well, I started with like 33 people. So I had, immediate friends and family and people that like LuLaRoe and people just interested. And then, again, it's just about, let me add my sister, because she likes LuLaRoe. Let me sister add, every person knows people. It's just there. But in order for them to want to share you with their friends and family and people that might like LuLaRoe, because everybody sells LuLaRoe, you know, this person may already be in 500 LuLaRoe groups, or I want a LuLaRoe group, like, you know, and I get a maxi, you know, from this person that's going out of business for $5. Like, why am I gonna pay you $42 for the same maxi? Now, especially with LuLaRoe, it's not usually the same maxi because we have new prints and limited prints and new styles are coming, so you're gonna get different stuff. But, you know, essentially, what do I need another group for? But if I'm there providing, and that's how I've been growing, is you provide value and relationships, just like in person, they're gonna wanna share you. And then other mechanisms like Viva Vienna or fundraisers. Fundraisers are a great way because people rally around a
Cause.
Yeah, a cause, and they may or may not have known about your product before a cause. So they're supporting the cause, but then they find something that they like or they find you and then they join because they know the cause is important to you because it's important to you. Like I love anything to do with helping animals. So I have a lot of people in my group that are, you know, work for rescue shelters or have animals or, you know. And then I post a lot about my crazy dog because he's really crazy. And they, you know, they tune in because they got crazy dogs too, you know. And it's all about being you and then connecting with people that you like. Creating friendships. I think I got lost. What was your question? We run live.
Yeah.
Okay, so it just depends on what type of live you're doing. So again, more of a selling live that I want to get a bigger audience and try and get some new people. I'm going to do that with the selling live. So all my selling lives will be on my business page, but like the more personal ones will be on my inner page. However, with Facebook and life, everything's always changing, right? That algorithm behind Facebook, it's a living, breathing thing. It's learning, it's thinking, all those things. And so need to be your businesses, which I'm sure you know. There's always going to be some fancy new tool. There's always going to be something new. There's always going to be somebody doing something different. And you can definitely learn and watch people, but you also have to do what you like. So there are some girls that make a large amount of money, but they don't go live at all. They don't. There are some girls that pretty much only go live and don't make use of the other tools. It's about doing what's comfortable for you. So like, if I am uncomfortable talking by myself in a room for 2 hours, I'm pretty sure you're gonna be uncomfortable watching me talk to myself for 2 hours in a row.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be fun, because I'm not gonna be having fun, and you're not gonna be having fun, and yeah, it's gonna go bad. So with everything that you do, you wanna try out new things and different ways to do things, but remember to try and push your comfort zone, but still be you. You wanna be you. You wanna do what's fun for you. And that will be fun for your customers.
So on Facebook, this training that you got and starting the group and all that, was that something you got from the company, or was that something like people that were selling it said, hey, this is the way to do it? Where did you get your information?
So I started with LuLaRoe in June. Well, I think my first box July. So the official retailer July 11th, 2017. So we have sponsors. So my sponsor had, a lot of people didn't have business pages at the time. I remember everybody was like LuLaRoe, first name, last name. But they had a group, and my sponsors did and still go live all the time. And they're one of the highest sellers, one of the higher sellers in our community. So anyway, so yeah, so they had a Facebook group. I'm like, okay. And, and people will do people do little parties where they set up groups and stuff and
Events.
yeah, events, and then like a separate group, like a pop-up, online pop-up and stuff. And then of course the goal of that thing, and this is where I find it hard, but it's like the goal of that thing is you're doing a special group that's time limited, so you want to get people to join. And then what's hard for me is like in that amount of time, I'm on social media now, right? I gotta get them to know the product and know me and care about me enough that when this party's over, they're gonna want to come over here. You know what I mean? Like, so I could just give them a coupon, which I do, but it's more than that. Like, I don't need a coupon. Like, I really want to come see what's next. Like, oh my God, you talked about this. So it's, it's like a funnel. But it's hard for me to maintain like different groups because my focus is really in all the things that I'm doing. So it's hard for me to do something on the side. So I personally, I usually do like in my group sometimes, and I'll have hostess rewards. And whatnot. Let's see.
And you guys, the other thing is, if they are in a group, they will get notifications for everything going on in the group.
No,
But
no.
like they'll get more of the group stuff than they would.
Yes, they will of course get more because they're in the group. But will they see every notification? No. I
get
would,
tons of notifications.
on a safe side, think that people are seeing maybe 6% of your stuff,
Yeah.
unless they're really engaged with you.
And then that's another reason why you want to post like multiple times a day,
Consistently.
because
And at the right times, use the right times. Be thoughtful with your posts. You only have so much time to get their attention and before they're on to the next thing. So that's why sometimes you want to plan ahead, because on this day I'm not going to have time to be very thoughtful. I'm not going to be able to inspire anybody because I'm literally going to be chasing after 3 kids for soccer practice. So I'm gonna schedule something in advance. So it's knowing your own time, and also when you still want to be visible.
awesome. Thank you so much.
Oh, I have
Ms.
my
Mark.
last point.
Oh, last
I am
point.
at the end though. You have noticed that I'm at the end. Okay, so my last thing is, I was just gonna sum it all up. So we're not talking about social media or in person here. It's not either or. It's if you want to increase your customers and reach more customers and increase the relationships you have with your existing customers and your potential future customers, you can't do it any other way with such a return on investment than with a place of 2.7 billion people. And I'm sorry we don't talk about Instagram much, but it's lifestyle, it is related. Once you have a business page, you can have a business account on Instagram. When I post on Instagram, there's a toggle, and I have it, and then it posts automatically also on my Facebook business page. And those pictures on my Facebook business page get way more interaction because you can see the number of people that view your stuff than, say, like a product launch where I just post a product thing. The ones of me and my dog and my kids, because again, lifestyle is what I show on Facebook. That's like me living in LuLaRoe. But of course, I'm going to tag LuLaRoe Bella, da 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 da. Also, when you link them, I'm sorry, now we're going to IT, but when you link them, just tell you about possibilities, because anything you want to know, you can Google and figure out how to do it, but you got to know it's possible. But you also, on your Facebook business page, you can create products, And then, if you have the two connected as a business and a business, when I'm on my Instagram page and I take this picture, I can put a little taggy to the Bella skirt. And then it'll show up, a little dot, and it'll say Bella skirt, you know, $44 or whatever it is, I don't know because it's so new, somewhere around there. And then you can click on it, and that's going to take me to my product on my Facebook page where I'm going to have the sizing chart, and then I'm going to have the link to rainbowjellies.com where you can just go buy it. I'm also on every single one, I have a link to rainbowjellies.com for my shop. So, and then that is my site where you can just pick and choose. And I also use that because not everybody uses Facebook, right? So we got email and then.
Okay, so say it again slowly. On Instagram, you tag the skirt.
Yeah, so this is where I was kind of going with the thing. You have a personal page and you have a Facebook business page.
So you don't want in your face that you're selling a Bella right now.
Right, so then over on your Instagram, you also set up an Instagram business account and you link it to your business page on Facebook. And then you build up your products on your Facebook business page so that when you post the picture of yourself, you can either tag, there's an option to tag people or to tag a product once you have a business page. And then I can tag the product. So it's linking it all back together. So again, I'm selling, but I'm not selling. I'm having a good time, whatever I'm doing, wherever I am. And I don't have a business or a personal Instagram account, for example. Some people are like, no, because the Instagram is just selling, it's a lifestyle, and that is my life. It just gives me the ability to boost a post if I want to boost a post. Let's not talk about that. And don't waste your money on it until you're ready, because it'll just be throwing pennies at things.
Yeah, Mary Kay, I don't think they allow us
To what?
boost.
Who doesn't?
Mary Kay.
You're not allowed to boost Facebook posts?
Well, basically, because Margaret, it's like Lauren's customers could see my post, and so we just have a thing where,
Is it in the policy?
yeah,
Ooh, wow.
yeah. So, like, we're not allowed to advertise on Facebook, but we can have business pages, so they like it, and if they like it, they can see it. Then we can do groups, because again, like you said, groups know you.
Yeah, it's your private.
Some rando is not gonna, like Lauren's customers are not gonna come into my group because.
Well, yeah, but I mean, and I think Lula's similar, but we have a lot more crossover with LuLaRoe, a lot more, because
Yeah.
we started
But see, we're
out-
selling all the same product.
Yeah, well, and we are and we aren't.
Yeah,
A lot
see,
of us are.
no, but that, you guys have some like unique prints, like if I want that skirt in blue or whatever,
Yeah.
you may not have it, you have to go to someone
Yeah,
else.
there's
for it.
different synergies that we can get because of that, which is awesome. Like the unicorn thing that I said. So I could have 15 awesome pieces, but they're all the wrong size for my people, right? So I give up those 15 pieces and somebody else gets to make the sell and I sell it to them wholesale. Meanwhile, I get, a whole bunch of pieces from them that they've shown to their customers, but it wasn't the right people.
Yeah.
So we're sharing. So, we're getting stronger together because we're sharing our inventory. And so instead of being able to show my group only the things that I can afford to get, I can share with them the things that all of us get, and then we can share back and forth. So I guess, that was the last thing is you're just using Facebook to stay connected and increase everything. So there's just so much synergy between the two.
Awesome.